Hey everybody, welcome to Life is Too Short. This is Sparta. Everyone remembers this iconic dialogue from the movie 300, which was based on the fearless Spartans.
This is Sparta!
There is no doubt in the fact that Spartans were the craziest people to have ever lived because this breed literally did not fear anything. Now you might have heard about Spartans being brave and all, but I bet you don't know about these badass facts about them. They will literally leave you astonished. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up while you're at it, because what I'm about to tell you will blow your minds. Number 10. They kept their hair long. Okay, this might not sound as crazy at first, but hear me out. So basically, the leader of the Spartan community believed that keeping long hair is for the good for mainly two reasons. It increases or enhances the beauty of a pretty face and makes the ugly faces have more terror. Honestly, the guy kind of has a good point here, don't you think so? Number 9. The fate of a Spartan baby boy. Oh, how we roll our eyes when people tell us they were born perfect. Well, being born perfect was pretty much the case with Spartans. Every newborn baby boy had to go under inspections by the elderly to see if the baby was healthy and didn't have any abnormalities. And sadly, the babies with abnormalities were abandoned and left on a cliff to die out of hunger. Number 8. Women weren't spared either. If Spartan men had to toughen up, then why not Spartan women? Every Spartan woman was supposed to give birth. It was considered extremely bad if any woman was, God forbid, infertile. Women would undergo strict training and education that was supposed to make them tough to bear children. Number 7. Men marry at 30. Usually, when you fall in love, you make a move and then you marry, right? But sadly, that's not the case with Spartan men. They were forced to complete their military training till 30, and only then were they allowed to marry and fall in love with their wives. Number 6. No other profession for the male. You know how a society works with people taking up all sorts of jobs to make a living and to run the civilization? Well, that wasn't the case with Spartans. The only thing that their men were allowed to do was to train and fight. Military was their only option. Number 5. It was good if children fought. Elders and trainers used to provoke fights between children instead of stopping them like every adult does these days. They would test the child's ability to fight and see if they were courageous enough instead of being a coward. Number 4. What is surrender? Spartans never learned the word surrender. It was thought as the biggest of all sins and was frowned upon. The only thing that Spartans were passionate about were the battles and war, and God forbid if someone might run away or surrender, the guilt would later be so great that those men would end up suiciding.
If you will but kneel at mine.
The idea of kneeling, it's, you see, slaughtering all those men of yours has left a nasty crack in my leg, so kneeling will be hard for me.
Spartan women would literally send of their men to the battle by saying that either come victorious or dead. See how high their bars for war were? Number 3. The Helots. Since Spartans were so busy with all the military training and work, they needed people to carry out other chores for them. And so they had the Helots, who were also known as the Greek slaves of Spartans. These slaves were supposed to do the farming, cleaning, cooking, and every other basic chore for the Spartans. They were won as booty after every conquered war or battle. What's sad is that these Helots didn't have any rights and were treated poorly under the Spartan rule. For example, if a Helot was seen out in the night, There was a strict order to kill them. I know, it sounds terrible. Number 2. Spartans and their conversations. This was pretty impressive to me too. So basically, Spartans were pretty direct and sarcastic when it came to conversations with outsiders or people who challenged them for battles. Once Philip of Macedon wrote to the Spartans that, "If I invade Laconia, I will drive you out." To that, the Spartans replied with one word, "if." Pretty stun-like, I know, but people would really get speechless trying to argue with a Spartan or if they end up challenging them for a fight. Number 1. Money or iron rods. So it is said that Spartans dealt in iron rods rather than money. Many people claim that this is a myth, but others say otherwise because of the large iron deposits found all around the ancient Sparta. It is also said that Spartans thought of coins as common because the world was dealing in coins, and Spartans wanted to showcase their power by something more solid. So they came up with iron currency. Pretty creative of them, I must say. Before you sign off, let us know in the comments below what you know about Sparta and their great kingdom. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Stay safe.